Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now, Dragon Ball GT is a bit of a contentious topic for Dragon Ball fans in general, and I only watched it once all the way through back when I was a kid, and I didn't really hate it, but I didn't really like it either. It was just ultimately forgettable. But I've never had sort of an inkling to go back and rewatch it at all. But we did get some cool things out of it, and Super Saiyan 4 is one of those things. And this is Vegeta in his Super Saiyan 4 form. I'm not looking at the Goku today just because of the way that I'm going through the S.H.Figuarts reviews. I thought I'd start at the newest figures first and make my way through to the oldest ones, just because I think it'll work better that way. So if new figures get released while I'm doing this, I'll obviously review the new figure first and then continue the string of reviews that I was doing. So the next up on the list is Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and it isn't the introduction of the 3.0 mold, but it is one of the early figures that adopted the new sort of structure of body type for the S.H.Figuarts. So taking a quick look at the box, you can see the main window into the figure, as well as a good promo image of Vegeta on the side. It's the standard for Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts, and most S.H.Figuarts in general. On the other side are comic book panels previewing the figure, and they're not too bad. Some of them are a bit weird, like the close-up of the foot. On the back are a bunch of different promo images showing you what you can get the figure into. On the side is a clear window into the figure with the character's name. And on the bottom is one more promo image showing Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And opening the box from the side completes the promo image on the front, and it looks quite nice. I always like to open boxes like this because I think it completes the image. So, straight out of the box you can see what Vegeta comes with. He comes with 4 alternate faces, he comes with his tail which comes unplugged out of the box, he comes with 6 pairs of hands, and an effect piece, which I believe is his Final Shine effect piece, but you can sort of use it for just general energy effect. So a decently well-packed figure, honestly. There's a lot to like about this, and he has just about anything that you could really want out of him. I could imagine getting fusion fingers, like the actual fingers at points, for the eventual Gogeta, because I'm sure they'll do a Gogeta one day. But I feel like those will probably be accessories that come with the Gogeta, so he'll probably have the fusion hands for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Because there's no point sort of having them now when the figure is nowhere near on the horizon, hasn't been announced, hasn't been prototyped or anything like that. It's just wishful thinking, but it would be nice to have. But taken out of the box, you can see that Vegeta looks pretty damn good. Now, love it or hate it, this is the Super Saiyan 4 design. I like it quite a bit because it is so visually distinct from other designs and every other Super Saiyan design. And little things like the colour of the hair all around his body is actually a different shade of red to Goku's, whereas Goku's is a bit more of a pink, Vegeta's is a bit more of a red, and Gogeta's is like a red-brown. So I like that part of the design. It also helps that the GT design of Vegeta is actually way different to normal Vegeta that we know from the Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, and Android Saga, and especially Android Saga to Buu Saga being his sort of like mainish sort of outfit. So he's got these unique looking pants, unique boots, and unique gloves, so it makes the Super Saiyan 4 design completely different to pretty much any other Vegeta we got. And I think it looks good. There are bits of the hair that are still a bit weird to me. I think the Super Saiyan 4 sort of mullet works way better for Goku than it does Vegeta, because they still sort of kept most of Vegeta's spiky hair intact and then just added a mullet on top of it, so it looks a bit weird. Whereas Goku's, I think, flows a bit better. But generally, it's not too bad. So a lot like the other recent S.H.Figuarts, not a whole lot of paint on this figure. There are bits and pieces here or there, like the chest is painted to color match. The faces are nicely detailed. The belt on his pants is painted. There's some shading throughout his pants and some finishing details on the boots. But generally nothing too crazy. It's the standard that we've come to accept from S.H.Figuarts lately, and most of it is color matched pretty accurately, so nothing too weird. But we'll get into articulation now, because this is the 3.0 mold, and a mold that I would like to see reused or at least repurposed for a Super Vegeta during the Android saga, specifically when he fought Cell. So, he's got a ball joint at the head, which allows for pretty free movement because the hair at the back can move out of the way as well as the hair on either side of his head, and you can sort of reposition that to make the figure flow a bit better. He does have that problem with some of the more recent S.H.Figuarts that have predominant hair, especially Vegeta figures, where if you look down it'll pop off the head, which is a bit of a shame, but it's workable. The arm can move out that far, and you can rotate it around to get it up further. He's got a swivel at the upper arm, a double bend at the elbow, as well as a ball hinge at the wrist, so nothing too crazy. He's got a butterfly joint at the shoulder, and it continues the sculpt, which looks pretty good. The actual muscle detail at the start where the chest is looks a bit funny, but it's okay. He's got a decent ab crunch, which allows for a side to side as well, and it flows a bit with the waist swivel. So you can get some pretty good dynamic poses from that. Because of that, he can look down this far, and he can arc and look up that far. So he can't look back that much, but the ab crunch does help a bit. He can do a pretty damn good splits, and he can kick forward that far and back pretty much not at all because of the way the butt is sculpted. He's got a swivel at the upper thigh, as well as a double bend at the knees. There's a ball joint at the ankle, as well as a hinged toe bend. And his tail is on a bit of a ball peg, but it's more like a ball hinge, so you can sort of rotate it around freely, but then bend it up and down. You can get a lot out of it depending on how it's positioned. So not too bad overall, and it allows you to get into some pretty dynamic poses, especially with the selection faces. So he's got a standard neutral face, he's got a teeth gritted angry face, and I don't know if it's intentional, but one of my eyes is bigger than the other, so it sort of gives a cool asymmetrical sort of design to him, like he's actually in pain or charging up something that's a little too much for him. He's got a sinister sort of smirk, which I think looks fantastic with this design. And he's got a mouth open shouting face, which is good for most action poses and energy effects and attacks and everything like that. It's just a good all-around face. And with those and the hands, you can get some pretty good static poses and some good dynamic poses. I'll do a quick size comparison. Here's Super Saiyan Vegeta next to the HG Aerial Gundam, which is a 1144 Gundam, but about Figma S.H.Figuarts size. Here he is next to the WCF Nico Robin, and here he is next to the SHF Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So you can see they scaled it pretty well by having Goku taller than Vegeta, and completely different body sculpts, so it's pretty damn cool how they did this, and again would like to see this sculpt repurposed for an actual Super Vegeta. One of the other cool things is Vegeta has two sets of the same design hand. Each one has got either no peg hole in it at all, or a peg hole, and you can attach his final shine in either one, and allow you to make some pretty cool dynamic poses, as well as sort of imitate final flash shots and stuff like that. And it's nice just having a lot of aesthetic options, especially if you don't want that peg hole getting in the way of anything. But that's pretty much it. He is a solid figure, gets a lot done, nothing too crazy, no real issues with it at all, maybe just some slight changes on the finish because his skin is a bit shiny, but that's not really an issue. I'm pretty used to it for a lot of the S.H.Figuarts. He doesn't feel overly plasticky, and generally all his joints were solid, and I could get him into pretty much anything that I wanted to pose-wise. Maybe just a little bit more on the butterfly to really make a proper Final Flash sort of pose. but I can't really complain considering what we got out of this figure and the accessories that he comes with. So overall, really solid, really like it, and he pairs perfectly with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and hopefully will pair with more good choices for the Dragon Ball GT line. So far, it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and Kid Goku, which I don't mind too much at all, but it would be cool to have a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, a baby Vegeta, and even an Omega Shenron. But that's for much later on down the line. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time.